want to introduce our guest speakers today. We have joining us Leslie Robbins. Leslie is from Marvin Hirschfuss DDS, and she is the office manager there, and a lot more, but we'll jump into that. Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining us. And then aside from that, we also have Michelle Mattison. Michelle is the office manager at Bremar Dental, at Bromere Dental, Family Dental. I'm sorry, Michelle, did I say that correctly? Bromire?
Yep, you got it.
Bromire Family Dental. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle. I appreciate it. Hi, okay, great. So if you all have joined a marketing workshop before, we always like to kick it off just by getting the temperature of the room and engaging with our audience. So with that said, let's take our poll, and please be sure to stay to the end. We're also going to take a second poll, and we're going to pull our Uber Eats winner for a $30 Uber Eats gift card. So I'm going to go ahead and launch our first poll, and that is, what campaign do you want to launch or revamp in 2024? Is it recall? Is it a charity campaign? Is it reactivation, birthdays, specific services or procedures related? What are you looking to do next year? Let us know in the poll. And we're going to talk about a few of these, a lot of these, and I think you guys will get some great inspiration. That's the goal today, is to inspire and motivate you to take action in 2024. Awesome. It's looking like most of you are looking to promote specific services and procedures. A lot of you want to revamp your recall campaigns, so that's very interesting. Wonderful. And reactivation. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll. And again, it looks like over about 42% of you are saying services and procedures. And then we have about a little over a third of you saying recall, and we have some reactivation. So awesome. We are going to talk about those campaigns and what has been working. And so let's jump into it. First off, we're going to start with Leslie at Marvin Hirschfuss DDS. Leslie, so I just want to kind of give our audience a little background and context of your practice. You are what I like to call a one-woman band. You do a lot as the office manager, the marketer, and so much more. And you guys are located in Detroit, Michigan. Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about your practice?
Absolutely. So in our practice, we consist of myself, our doctor, a hygienist, and an assistant. That is all. So I do everything from insurance, marketing, answering the phone, any desk thing you can imagine, taking the money, collections, follow-ups, texting, calling, everything. So RevenueWell really helps me out with that.
I'm so glad to hear that. And I know that a lot of people are in your shoes and they can relate. And your campaigns are not just about increasing revenue and production, but it's also about driving efficiencies so that you can have an easier work day. So I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I want to kick us off by just giving a bit of a dashboard view of your automatic campaigns. Leslie, like you said, you do so much for the office. So really having your campaigns automated is a big deal, right?
100%. I couldn't keep up with it all. I mean, especially generate those kind of numbers to keep up with the communication that RevenueWell does for me. It's like another employee.
Right, right. And I do remember you saying that one time you did lose an employee, unfortunately, but RevenueWell, because of these automated campaigns, you were able to not have to replace that, correct?
Correct. We decided when we came down to looking at the numbers and such, we decided, let's give it a year. Let's try with RevenueWell and what's happening, and can I handle the workload? And when it came down to it, I could. So we've been going with it for the last 6 years, and it's worked beautifully.
Awesome, awesome. So just we'll go a little bit deeper into a couple of these, but something that I really love to see is that your recalls, and we're going to get deeper into that, but recalls are definitely working for you. They're automated. All of these are automated, but also one thing that I want to make sure that we mention is you are using all of these campaigns that you all see on your screen right now. These are pre-built. They're out of the box, correct?
Yep, 100%. Right.
So that means that she's able to go into the platform. She's using the templates that RevenueWell has provided. Again, very important when you're talking about trying to increase, efficiencies at your practice and drive results. It's a big deal and a very big game changer to be able to use these pre-built campaigns. So as a theme going through this presentation, just remember that if you don't have time, or you didn't go to school to be a marketer or things like that, you don't have to put that pressure on yourself. As Leslie is showing, she's been able to use the pre-built campaigns, the templates that are already in RevenueWell, to drive results. So that's awesome. We're glad to hear it. Leslie, this is one of the examples that we wanted to talk about, which is your Sure Smile Aligners campaign. Can you tell us about this and how you set it up, and just talk us through the results?
What we did with this, Sure Smile was a new thing when we started doing the program. It was the clear aligner program. And for, just to get people interested in it, get people to call and inquire, we offered the $500 off coupon, which I put there in the bottom, and sent it out to our patients. And this only ran for 3 months. And that the revenue there isn't even eventually what we had got off the whole thing, but that was it for the 3 months, and got a lot of great response. And I still have people coming in the door with the Sure Smile. Now we're actually going to try to duplicate it again this summer and try to make it bigger. We haven't completely decided how to do it, but it was very successful and made the phone ring, which is my ultimate goal, is getting the phone ring, getting people in the door.
Right. And what we're seeing, you're able to see over here the average spend of the people who have come in. She sent out 340, just under 350 emails. This was an email only campaign, and she had 93 people who opened it, which is awesome. And then from there, she was able to get 9 visits in. So with that, she's been able to drive almost $8,000 worth of revenue. And again, this is a campaign that is pre-built in the platform. So you're able to just pull it up. Did you make any changes to the email itself? Because that is an option to do tweaks as you see fit, right?
I don't think I did. Maybe with the coupon a little bit, but other than that, no. I mean, I rarely touch anything because everything is beautifully done. It's much easier to use the pre-built ones because believe me, I'm no master at moving things around or, doing anything like that. So I really tend to rely on all the pre-built things and literally just, putting in our name and a logo, essentially. I'll put in a logo. But other than that, I leave everything as is.
Awesome. And like you said, you did point out, but just reiterating, having that special offer that you can also put in there can really be a driver for people to respond and engage with your email, giving them a little bit of a give so that they are enticed to respond and ask those questions and pick up the phone or respond to your email. And then that personalization in there, that it really does make a difference when you personalize emails, and RevenueWell will do that for you. Of course, we have that information for you that we're pulling in. And so having that personalization, like she said, making sure that your logo and your offer is there, it can be a very beneficial exercise for you to do. How long would you say it took you overall to put this campaign together?
Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 6. It was super easy. Just double check the parameters, how many people are we going to send it to, that type of thing. But yeah, it was 5-6 minutes tops.
5 or 6 minutes and almost $8,000 worth of revenue. So, when you talk, everyone's goals are different. But if you're able to just send an email within 5 minutes and drive that type of revenue, talk about being the office superstar, the office hero. So it can only help you. 5 minutes of time, you really honestly have nothing to lose. Again, leaning into those pre-built campaigns. If you're not currently, or you're not a RevenueWell user currently, definitely try to lean into those. And another one that we want to talk about is your birthday campaign. I always love birthday campaigns because, being a dental office, you have that information. And when, especially this time of year, how many of us are getting holiday promotions? How many of us are seeing those? But not every company is able to have someone's birthday on file. So can you talk us through your birthday campaign?
This one's one of my favorites because this is like the easiest revenue generator ever. And it was a matter of clicking a button because it'll pull from the practice management software. It'll send a message to the patient. They'll click it, open it, and respond to it. And people will respond with text messages of saying, oh, thank you for the reminder. They'll thank you for the birthday wishes. And then sometimes they'll call and schedule an appointment. And just it's a great way just to keep yourself, oh, your dentist is thinking about you. It's a great way just to keep your face, in their face without calling them. And it just makes them say thank you.
Yeah. And one thing that I noticed during our first poll is that no one mentioned that they would like to do birthday campaigns next year. And so if you're not currently doing them, this is so easy to do. And again, it's unique because you are probably one of the few companies that knows someone's birthday, unless unless they're giving it to someone or they're giving it out to these different retailers and things that they go to. So they don't have as many emails coming through as they do, per se the holidays this time of year. So again, a quick automatic campaign that's pre-built that you can send out. And did you it doesn't look like you actually had an offer in this either, correct?
Nope, it's just a happy birthday. We're thinking about you on your special day.
Absolutely. So that just goes to show that being personable to people, showing them that you're thinking about them. In this case, you don't even have to give an offer. So you don't have to give some type of discount that could cut into your ROI, your return on investment. So I just love a good birthday campaign. If you guys are not doing them, they are so easy to generate in RevenueWell and have them be always on and automatic. So really love that. And then lastly, Leslie, we want to talk about your recall campaigns because you've been able to generate over almost $57,000 through your recall campaigns. Can you talk us through? You gave us a bit of your schedule, and then also how does that work for you? How do you spend time on a day-to-day basis, touching it and tweaking it? How do you do that?
Since we initially set it up, I have not changed anything. Unless the patient has called and said, oh, I don't need as many messages, and then I'll back them off individually. But this is what everybody gets if they don't schedule. 30 days before, text and an email. 1 day after, text and an email. 30 days after, text and an email. And then 60 days after. And that 30 days after really, I'd say the 1 day after and the 30 days are really the ones that catch them the most if they're not going to pre-schedule already. Because they're like, oh my goodness, I forgot. Like especially this month, I've gotten a ton of them. Like, because end of the year, let's use our benefits. Let's get in before the end of the year. So this has always been the way it has worked very well for us, and it makes me not have to call people. So it works great. It works great. And I'll get a lot of people responding, like they'll get the text, then text me and respond to it, and then I can schedule them accordingly.
Right. And I know a lot of people selected that they wanted to launch or relaunch or revamp their recall efforts next year. That was the second highest answer that people gave in the poll. And you did not build this from the ground up. And like you said, you send a text message and an email. The cadence also was suggested to you by RevenueWell. I remember you saying you tweaked that just a little bit, but you pretty much took the timeline that RevenueWell suggested.
Yep, there's another option where you can add another message in there, and I thought that was maybe the frequency was too much. And then the first time I did it, we had, I think one of these other options wasn't there, and I went, well, 3's not enough. I think 4 is really gonna, drive the point home, but not annoy them, because it's not like you're calling them every day. It's just, hey, we want to get you in, try to, make sure you come in for your recall visit. And I have never had anybody say, oh, I get too many messages, or,
Awesome.
I think it was great for our office.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And again, for those of you who said that you really want to tap into honing your recall efforts next year, definitely take a look at the options that are already available to you. And like Leslie said, do what works for your practice. Listen to what your patients are saying in response, and you can be flexible and make changes from there. So thank you so much for that, Leslie. Michelle.
Hello.
let's get into Braumeyer Dental, Family Dental. So you all are located in Lisle, Illinois. Can you tell us a little bit about your practice background?
Absolutely. Dr. Braumeyer purchased the practice in 2019 from an existing dentist that was here. Since then, we have added an associate dentist. So Dr. Braumeyer and Dr. Erickson sort of split the week, overlapping on Wednesdays. And then we have 2 full-time hygienists, 1 part-time hygienist, 2 assistants, and myself as the office manager and another front desk admin person. So pretty 4 days a week practice, nice, solid, stable patient base. So yeah, that's who we are in a nutshell.
Awesome. And we're going to, again, just a quick dashboard look at some of your campaigns that you've launched that have been very successful. And we'll dive into a couple of these. But again, the birthday messages, automatic, and they have been a revenue driver for you. Yes, as well as the expiring insurance benefits and the treatment plan follow-up. So again, all of these are automatic campaigns. And Michelle, do you do a lot of tweaking, or how do you customize them, or do you use them pre-built?
Mostly pre-built. A few of them I've tweaked here and there just to get the wording how we want it to be, but mostly, like Leslie said, the automated campaigns are pretty much you set them and forget about them. Every once in a while I'll go in and change the image for the birthday campaign or for the holiday campaigns just to keep it fresh. But otherwise, it's set and forget, and people love them. People love those birthday wishes. Like Leslie said, we get texts and emails all the time. Thank you for remembering me. Really appreciate it. So just staying in front of your patients, it's a lovely way to do it and keep you in front of them.
Awesome. One of the campaigns that I think is really interesting that we're going to talk about is you and I think 10 to 15% of you said that you want to launch a charity campaign next year. Can you tell us about the campaign that you all did and why you came up with this idea?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, as you all know, being in the dental field, credit card fees are ridiculous. And insurance companies are now starting to send you credit card payments for insurance payments, which to me is ridiculous, but that's another topic for another day. But we decided that because of how high credit card fees are, we wanted to maybe promote to our patients, hey, if you pay by cash or check, we will take the percentage that would have been a credit card payment and we will put it towards a charity. So quarterly, we have a different dental charity that we donate to. We just started this 2 quarters ago. I think this is our 3rd quarter. And people love it. People respond. And this wasn't something that we did to generate revenue. This was just something that we wanted to do to give back to our community, and as well as to open people's eyes to the fact that every swipe of that credit card or every punch of that number into our machine, there's a fee attached to that. People don't even realize that. It's just credit cards are just it's just how people pay for things, and that's cool. But for people who like to pay by check, here's what we're going to do. If you do pay by check, we're going to donate to a dental charity. And the response to it has been really great. People think it's a great idea. They love the fact that we're giving back. We've had more people paying by check than we have in the past. So it's worked, and it has generated some revenue for us as well. Just, again, staying in front of our patients.
Yes, and like you said, it's really, I would even say, I was going to say twofold the benefit, but even more than that, because, like you said, there's so much being accomplished here. You're able to get a campaign out of the door. You're able to be of help to people and also involve the community in being of help to another organization that will benefit people, but you're also able to drive revenue. So this is a breakdown of how that's fared for you. So overall, you would call this a successful campaign, right?
Absolutely. And even, if it were a third of that, a quarter of that, it's still the fact that we're getting more people paying by check and cash as opposed to credit card. That's a win. This is just an added bonus to this campaign that it's generated revenue for us.
Right, right. So for anyone thinking in 2024 about doing charity campaigns, I love the approach that that Michelle took at Braumeyer Dental, Family Dental, because again, she had a purpose of being of help to a charity, but also there was an internal need. They were seeing a lot of credit card processing fees, so she was able to kind of reduce that and also get the patients involved and have them empowered to, so I just love that. That's a wonderful campaign.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome. Let's talk about your Invisalign campaign. I think a lot of people could benefit from this. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, as we draw closer to the end of the year, a lot of people have FSA benefits, and a lot of people don't realize they can use it for Invisalign or for other dental needs. We wanted to focus on Invisalign. Doctors trying to do more of that in the practice, so we figured this was a great campaign to push out towards the end of the year to let people know, hey, you can use those benefits if you have them, and if this is something you want to move forward with, now is the perfect time to do that. So it, again, not only gets us in front of our patients who have FSA accounts, but lets them know, hey, this is a good time to use this. Sometimes you'll lose those benefits if you don't use them. So you want to get that money and use it since you're putting away for it throughout the year.
Awesome. And again, this is another pre-built campaign that you're able to tweak as you need to and send it out the door. And it's a quick send, one email, and you're generating more than $2,000. So all of these small steps add up, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle. I wanted to bring in the digital marketing aspect of this. You may or may not know, many of you, RevenueWell also has our digital marketing services that we provide through PBHS, a RevenueWell company. And this is what we've seen this year. All of these numbers are year to date. So if you are looking to boost your digital marketing footprint and revamp your online presence next year, here's what we're seeing across our customers. These are all RevenueWell stats for customers. As you can see under Page Social, with the average spend of $100 to $150 a month, our customers are seeing a cost per click, just highlighting a few of these, of 34 cents, and the industry benchmark is 90 cents. So that's a huge advantage to our customers that they've seen this year with investing in their Page Social, as well as their click-through rate being way above industry average at 322%. And also, the amount of people that you're reaching each year. And then we also go to PPC, where you're seeing a conversion benchmark of $120, whereas our customers have seen a conversion cost per conversion of, when you actually get that customer, it ends up costing you about $49, whereas the benchmark is $120. Again, click-through rate, and that's very impressive. When you see cost per click, yes, it is a bit higher than the industry benchmark, but one thing to keep in mind, that in the space that you're in with dental, when you're talking about digital marketing and paid ads, you are in this space, but you're also competing against the overall health and wellness. You're competing against fitness. You're competing against med spa. So it depends, and it also plays into your location. So when you're thinking of digital marketing in 2024 and how you're going to make that really worth your while, you want to make sure that you're working with your expert to take into account all of the factors that are going to help you win. Where are you located? Are you in a metropolitan area? Then you're going to need to revamp your strategy a little bit because of the amount of competition. So, and really quickly, SEO, web and SEO, we have nearly 5,000 websites that we host. And over the course of the year, we've been able to have 2 million plus organic visits. And that's a huge deal. 2 million plus organic visits per month and 24 million a year. Organic search visits are when people go in and say, dentist near me, you're popping up. So we've been able to drive 24 million people to websites through the SEO. And then also I wanted to list over here the top most visited website pages for all of our customers. So if you are thinking about revamping your website, definitely give us a call. But also, these are the pages that you want to focus on. The home page, of course, your registration, your patient registration, the contact us page, the referral form, patient scheduling and insurance. So make sure that as you make your plans for your online presence next year, that you're paying attention to those pages, okay? And let's get into some 2024 goal setting. You want to keep your goals SMART. So as you're working to figure out what you want to focus on next year, keep them SMART. That's an acronym. They need to be specific. They need to be measurable. So you know where you're at right now, you know where you want to be, and you know how you're going to track that. What is the number that you want to reach? Where are you going to see that number? You want them to be achievable. I had a practice one year that says that their collections goal is 10 million. That is not realistic for a lot of practices. So just because your neighbor has this goal doesn't mean it needs to be your goal. You also want them to be relevant. So what is most important and what is a distraction? Just because something can be improved doesn't mean that you need to focus all of your energy on it. Try to make your goals as relevant as possible and decide what's important and what's just nice to have, but is maybe a distraction from the bigger achievements that you want to accomplish next year. And then time bound, I would say, chunk it up into half a year, and then half a year, once you hit June, July, let's look at where we've come from and see how much further we want to go. Do we need to realign on our goals and revamp what it is that we want to do? But you want to start thinking about that now. And here are some goal examples. Again, collections, you want to be at least 95%. And, a suggested strategy is to maybe add or promote new doctors, create new collections plans for your practice and practices. How are you guys doing this? Add software for RevenueWell. It is built in there. Sending those text messages and those emails. Give them direct links to be able to pay their balances immediately. I know we launched our auto collections this year where you could add a link directly into a text message. And we had a person, one of our customers, say she did that and was immediately able to see people who had 90-day balances that were overdue. They got a link and they paid them immediately. So maybe it's as simple as just tapping into a part of, your platform that you haven't tapped into yet and turning that on and making it easy for people to pay. Case acceptance, you want that at least 50%, 60%, even better, but somewhere between 50 and 60%. Strategy there, you can improve your chairside consults and your follow-up, and try to be provider specific. Again, you want these goals to be relevant, and you want them to be achievable. And then the last goal example would be maybe you want to increase your new patients per month. We recommend 25 new patients per month per full-time dentist. And just making sure that if that's your goal, you understand the balance in your schedule and how much room you have for new patients as opposed to insured patients and patients who have already been coming to your practice. So these are just some examples. Again, you can also create others, but you want to make sure that you look at where you're at now so that you can create goals and have them be relevant and achievable. And then from there, if you have not already started to loop in the staff, make sure that you're doing that. The team members all need to be involved, and you should do that before 2022. So we have about 2 weeks left, 2.5 weeks for you all to do that. So you want to meet with your doctors, office managers, you want to meet with the doctors meet with your office manager, and you guys come up first with what it is that you want to achieve. And then you want to schedule, I would say, if you have the time, try to make it a whole day where you all talk about your goals, how you're going to achieve them, and be as drilled down and tactical as possible so that you truly have a blueprint. I would even say create a calendar. This month is what we're going to do, these campaigns. We're going to focus on these services. We're going to offer these discounts. Map all of that out and post it somewhere where everyone can see it, whether that be within your software platform, whether that be in your internal communications, whether that be in the break room, but make sure that everyone can see that every day and that you're all working towards it. Make it clear and get everyone involved. And like I said, halfway through the year, hop on again and see where you are and where you want to go from there, and just track your performance. Make sure that you're being nimble and flexible to make those changes.